Republican primary that is coming up between Tenney, George Phillips, and Stephen Wells. She's in the lead. I don't know that these guys, if we could just talk frankly without anybody on the line with us, I don't know that these guys have enough time to be able to make any dent whatsoever here. We're running out of time, I would think.
Yeah, it's
and if Claudia Tenney's numbers are accurate, and that polling was accurate, I don't know how how any of them get to catch her.
Yeah, it was very significant, the advantage she has. And she does, again, have that name recognition because she's run before. Obviously, she is an incumbent in the state assembly. And so, yeah, the name recognition, I think, is the biggest hurdle to overcome. And, of course, they've got to get their agendas out there as well.
Yeah. Interesting. So the thought is that we would set up, if Assemblywoman Tenney is not able to come in next week, what about, or even maybe as early as this Friday, Andrew, what about George Phillips and Stephen Wells going head-to-head without the Assemblywoman? And we would, in fairness, give equal time to Claudia Tenney to be able to respond to that, or she could certainly join. But I think people should know what these people stand for. These other two stand for.
And I think there's a huge interest in.
And I don't think they have the time to make a dent in her lead. I really don't. In studio is right now Bill and Robin Monjo of River Hills Properties, who, by the way, just had a grand opening, right? You guys did?
Yes, we did.
Over at your new location at Franklin Square.
Absolutely. It was a wonderful turnout. The mayor came down to see us, part of his staff. We had about 80 people show up. It was just a wonderful opening.
Nice. Okay, so, and you're down there next to, is it Bites, Nancy Ford, and yeah, you put on, not that you would ever put on weight, Robin, but I would put on weight if I had my office right next to
I'm on the
there,
food plan they offer.
They have a food plan. Perfect. Okay, so you guys are holding a seminar coming up tomorrow night at the
Fort Schuyler Club.
Fort Schuyler Club, and it's about informing people about a career change possibly in real estate. So what are people going to learn tomorrow night?
They're going to learn all the basic nuances of the business. They're going to understand a full cycle of a real estate transaction. They're going to understand, when they leave us, they're going to have a firm understanding of how they're remunerated for their efforts in the real estate business. It's very easy to watch HGTV and see people pointing at a closet and flipping on lights. Has nothing to do with the real business. And we feel that it's our obligation to really show people what it's like for the Mohawk Valley. It is
different here than I see some of the prices of these houses on HGTV, and it's amazing. The little place that's selling for $800,000, little tiny place with very little square footage. It's a different world here.
It's a totally different world. It's a campaign here. It's not just simply walking in and having 27 offers, which we hear about all the time nationally. What we have here, it's a campaign. It's a battle to get the home sold.
And, okay, so you could make a pretty decent living as a real estate agent here?
You can make an outstanding living here. In fact, I would say that you have a chance. We look for typically people that are overqualified and underutilized in their current situations. And there's a preponderance of that in the Mohawk Valley. There's a lot of people that could stand a chance to make some money. The nice thing about real estate is you can gradually work yourself into it. You can start off part-time, building your business around your current occupation, and when you're ready to make the classic leap to real estate full-time, you have that option. You'll have an understanding how much money you're going to make, and you can make a serious amount of money.
And it is about, Robin, the relationships, right? It's a relationship business. You have to build these relationships.
Yes, it is a relationship. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But another thing, I think we can offer a different perspective on real estate only because we're not a franchise. We're an independent company, so we've kind of done it our own way and forged ahead.
Yes, we're not about the brand of River Hills. We're about the brand of the people that work with us. Yeah. It's a big, important difference here. It is about relationships, as you just mentioned. It's about your ability to interact with other people and bring your sincerity and your honesty out and guide them through what is going to be probably their biggest investment. Yeah. It's their 401k. We take it seriously that we're going to open up that bank when they want to sell that home go on, and what's next for them?
And that is tomorrow night. It starts at, I don't have the script in front of me.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock tomorrow night at Fort Schuyler Club. Now, I want to end with just asking you about, we've been looking at the possibility of moving and looking around at houses. And I have to tell you that I think there's a change going on. And I'm not sure that it's all over, but in prime neighborhoods, those neighborhoods that have good school districts, and
Action.
There's action.
Action.
Like when you say, a house goes on the market on day one, and there are 3 or 4 offers on that house on day one. Are you seeing that? Is that what is happening right now? Are we anticipating the nano boom?
We are sales are up for this part of the year, up 13% over last year.
Okay.
Sadly, though, the prices are still stagnating and falling a little bit. So the sales are up, and yes, there's a lot of activity, but the people that are selling are not making money right now on the sale of their home. So
why is that? And our prices are so low here to begin with.
We just don't have the volume. Yes, the sales are up in hot areas, and New Hartford being one of them, Whitesboro being another one. Marcy, I think, is going to see a nice upturn because of the Nano Center. We see that in key areas, but again, it comes and it goes, and all we're doing is turning the inventory. We're not seeing growth in the inventory. We need more people.
Today is school board day. Everybody goes out and they vote on their budgets for their school district. So I'd like to know your opinion on the value of. I mean, yesterday we were talking about Central Valley Academy and how the scores are low and what that means for a community, not just for Ilion Mohawk, but the entire valley. What does it mean? School districts. How important is it when somebody's looking to invest in property?
Pivotal. In our area, it's
Absolutely.
pivotal. It is that location of the better school areas, and all the schools are good. There's no problems with schools. There's no bad school. But it's the amenity packages that come with it, the advanced placement, the college-level courses, the sporting programs. These all matter. And it actually, in most areas, it brings people to the area clearly.
And you see it. When you look at you could look at the scores of the schools, and could you tell by the value of the houses and the speed that these houses are selling?
Direct correlation.
Okay.
Direct correlation. We obviously everybody knows about New Hartford and Whitesboro, but if they're looking for a more rural thing, the Holland Patton schools gain they have a leverage over other school districts in the northern area in values. They hold a value where other school districts don't. Sadly,
You can compare apples to apples. Definitely, you'll have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch in someplace like Holland Patton, and it'll be quite different in the Poland or Remsen school district. And I love small schools. I went to Owen DeYoung. I had 22 in my class, so I dig the smaller school systems.
Cool school that is too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, but it really, Bill's absolutely right. I mean, it's a huge difference in when you're comparing apples to apples in these different school districts.
Another one that's coming up now is VVS. They've just got meddled, and the properties there are going like wildfire. I mean, it's the same kind of deal. But they've got an influx. They're in that kind of a wonderful sweet zone of they've got the casino, they've got Griffiths, they've got Syracuse, and they've got some of the Mohawk Valley all pulling to that area.
Yeah.
But that school district, they have a lot of money, and they're doing very well.
And the property taxes are our listings there. You see it. You're at the front line, so you see all this, and you get to hear the buyers' comments. It's they're looking at a lot of the clients that we're seeing in the $250,000-300,000 range in the Vernon Verona School District. There, a lot of them have already looked in places like New Hartford, and
well, you're talking
the taxes are
$12,000-13,000 a year in taxes,
right.
and some of those
they get your attention.
$300,000 houses.
Sure, they get your attention. So they're looking at now. We're starting to see them out Vernon Verona way, and I mean the taxes are a lot more reasonable, and it's attractive to them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just funny how you see how they're looking. You know, people,
Right.
well, they're so informed now. I mean, buyers are so informed. Everything is available on the internet.
Well, and that's the thing. It didn't used to be like this, where you,
No,
you
yeah,
now you
that-
go on the internet and
That
everything
book
is there.
thing or whatever
Yeah.
they used to have with the MLS, right? The
Yeah.
magic book, right?
Everybody would go around trying to find the stinking book, and the grocery store is out of them. What are you going to do? And now it's just at your fingertips, and it's really,
They're
really crazy.
educated now. I mean, and you know, it's the same thing with all the real estate shows. I mean, we're all addicted to them.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to them. You know, you got to pull myself away from them. So they're, you know, they have the perception that they're, you know, they understand real estate, and you know, again, to pull it in. About what we're
night.
offering tomorrow night. We're offering, I think, what is a realistic point of view targeted in our area of what you can expect in a real estate career. And can it be lucrative? Sure.
With everything on the web, is that pushing the real estate agent out? It really,
Well,
I guess it isn't. People are still using agencies to sell, and they're using agencies to buy. So maybe it's making you got to be more creative.
We're very aware of that. I mean, we are very aware of that. My husband uses the analogy of the travel agent. You know, it's
Right.
It's,
What happened to a travel agent?
we
Where-
always used a
yeah.
travel agent. Now,
Yeah.
where do you book your flights? I
Right.
mean, we're all on there comparing rates and stuff. You know, so what do you do in that case? You make yourself. Your service package has got to be very robust. And my husband, coming from the corporate world, I mean, he tells me you've got to reinvent yourself every 2 years. You've got to offer more. You've got to give more. I mean, people deserve it.
Want to add to that, Bill? She handled it pretty well. I think she did.
She
pretty
did
well.
fabulous.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank
Tomorrow
you.
night. Tomorrow night is 7 o'clock at Fort Schuyler. If you have any interest at all in the real estate business, my friend Brad Davies traveled, is living in Houston now, has completely left radio and is selling houses in Houston. Loves it. Loves the flexibility of his schedule. Loves the fact that he's not on a radio payroll. And those houses sell for a lot of money down there.
Sure.
There's a lot of demand.
Do you need to pre-register?
Do you have to pre-register? How do you
Yes,
guys
we
wanna
would
do it?
prefer that.
Okay.
We would prefer
so
that.
the phone number again to call.
You can
to set it
call
up.
Miss Arlene at our Barneveld office. It's 315-896-1009.
Okay, and it's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Fort Schuyler Club.
You
Thank
bet.
you guys.
Thank
Quick
you.
break. Come right back, E38 at WIBX.